entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
All right, welcome. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening, and welcome to Dash at Night. I'm your host, Dash. Tonight we're going to be talking greatest movie trilogies. Did yours make the list? We're going to be talking about that list here in just a minute. Let me know in the comments if yours did or didn't. If there's one that didn't make the list and you like, please put it in the comments. I'd like to know what some of your favorites are. As you know, I love movies. I love talking movies. Anybody that ever wants to talk movies, please let me know. We'll get you on here. Love to have some guests to banter back and forth with. But anyways, hope everyone is having a wonderful night. Tuesday night, we'll be having NFL Chalk Talk on Thursday, 5:30 p.m. NFL Chalk Talk will be 5:30 p.m. on Thursday when my co-host is feeling a little bit better. We'll be talking about everything from the news that's going on with NFL, some big signings, as well as divisions. We'll be talking about the divisions and who we think will win the division and making our bold predictions. But other than that, let's get started with movie trilogies. There's a lot of great movie trilogies out there, and there's some really, really bad ones. But some of my favorites are right here. I'm going to bring it to the stage. The two of the possible. Did these two make the list? Well, we'll find out. I had some people comment. Maybe some of theirs made it. Maybe some of them didn't. But we're going to find out right here. One of my very favorite ones, and I know some of these are wild. Some of these are weird. I love the El Mariachi, Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico trilogy, the Mariachi trilogy. Antonio Banderas was not in the first one. Once that took off as an actual great movie, El Mariachi, the first one was low budget. Then they moved on to Desperado, and then Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I loved them. Desperado is still the best one, but you can't beat Johnny Depp in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. It was a pretty good role for him. We got George A. Romero, the Dead trilogy, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. Still, if it wasn't for George A. Romero, would we have the zombies and the zombie shows that we have them as we have them today? Walking Dead, all of those. We wouldn't have zombies the way we have them if it wasn't for George A. Romero. So Night of the Living Dead, still probably the best. The original Night of the Living Dead, still the best zombie movie there is. Dawn of the Dead was pretty good as well. But this is a fantastic trilogy. I can watch it over and over and over again. Coming in next, The Blade, the start of the MCU, if you will. Vern and I talked about this a couple of days ago. As far as Wesley Snipes being Blade, he is Blade. He's this is one of the very first rated R Marvel movies. Blade and Blade 2, and then Blade Trinity. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, they don't need to go find somebody new after watching Deadpool and Wolverine. Wesley Snipes still has it. The, the fans want him. The crowds want him. He is your Blade. But I loved all of these. A lot of people, I'm in the minority when it comes to Blade Trinity, probably the third one, but I do love all three of them, and especially this, and you see Ryan Reynolds there. He's the one that got Wesley Snipes back, and even Ryan Reynolds is petitioning to get Wesley Snipes back in the MCU. Indiana Jones. This is the only Indiana Jones movies that exist to me. The other two, I don't know where they went or where they are. They don't exist. They don't belong. As far as I'm concerned, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is where Indiana Jones ended. As far as the movie franchise goes, it's a trilogy. Still one of Harrison's best performances, one of his best characters, Indiana Jones. You can't go wrong. And you got Sean Connery, Short Round, lots of great characters. And Indiana Jones, still to this day, I can watch all three of these all the time, no problems. And they still hold up. Not that Crystal Skull and whatever that massacre of whatever it was, that last one was. I almost fell asleep during it, and they ruined it. The Dial of Destiny was just horrible. Dial of Destiny was horrible. Kathleen Kennedy should be ashamed of even putting that on the big screen. I can't believe Harrison went back and did that. But I digress. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, The Last Crusade, all great movies, and still some of Harrison's best work, in my opinion. The Mad Max trilogy. Mad Max, Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome. Man, the original one's still the best to me. While I love Road Warrior and I love Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the first movie, Mad Max, obviously started this whole thing, and it's still a great movie to watch. I watch it all the time. I own all three of these on DVD. I have physical copies. I have them on digital. You name it, I have them. But I mean, you couldn't go wrong with the Road Warrior or the Mad Max series. Still, I think this is better than Lethal Weapon as far as Mel Gibson's characters go. While I do love Lethal Weapon and Briggs, I think Mad Max is his signature character. He's fantastic at it, and we got a few spinoffs from it. We got Fury Road and Furiosa from this. While maybe we get some more. Hopefully, I'd like for Mel to come back and do Old Man Max or Old Max, and just get one more movie out of him for the Mad Max. Maybe give us a send off with the Max world. Furiosa was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. Fury Road was still pretty good. I just like the whole apocalyptic post-apocalyptic landscape. And somebody posed the question the other day, what if it's all of this is just happening in Australia and nothing else ever happened in the world? I would like to see that. That would be cool. I would just like to see that only Australia is the wasteland and everything else is still everybody's still living their lives. That'd be a cool one to see. Sergio Leone, the Dollars trilogy. A Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. You can say what you want to. I mean, Clint Eastwood's done fantastic movies. There's so many great roles for Clint Eastwood, but this is spaghetti western at its best. This is cinematography. This is western at its best. Everything about these are just how film should be done, and I love this trilogy. This is, again, all these trilogies I can watch over and over and over again, and they never get old. They hold up. They stand the test of time, and that's what I look for in movies. Can they stand the test of time? Is there a way when you watch them, 9 o'clock at night and you go switch on the TV and you're flipping through channels and a few dollars more comes on, and no matter where it is in the movie, you will stop to watch it. That's a movie that stands the test of time. That's a movie that I love. And all three of these, we don't have Open Range. We don't have Silverado. We don't have Dances with Wolves. We don't have all of those Westerns that we have now. Tombstone. We don't have it without this trilogy here. Sure, we had great, there's still Westerns out there, but you don't continue on the Western genre without these three. So the dollar trilogy is fantastic. I highly recommend this one if you've never watched any of them. Back to the Future, how could you not have a trilogy countdown without Back to the Future on there? All three of them, fantastic. All three of them are still worth watching. Again, just like I said, when I'm talking about the movies, if you want to know what greatness is, you watch Robert Zemeckis, you watch Back to the Future, and these are fantastic. I want to say hello to my shitbag buddy Blaze. Hola, ¿cómo está? Yeah, everybody loves these movies. They're quotable, they're memorable. You have memes. I mean, today's pop culture is nothing without Back to the Future. So if you have a movie trilogy countdown, you have to have that on there. Blaze, I know that you're watching to see if yours makes it. Next up for me, Evil Dead. Come on, you don't have one of the greatest horror characters, Ash, and not have his trilogy in here. Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, probably the best of buds, created one of the greatest characters in horror history ever. Army of Darkness, hands down, is still one of the greatest horror movies to ever grace the screen. So Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, all of them. But Army of Darkness is hands down one of my most favorite horror flicks. And you can't shop without shopping smart. Shop S smart. Am I right? So and don't mess with the boomstick. A lot of memorable lines from Army of Darkness, and that's why it makes it way up there in the top of my trilogies list. Coming in at number 2, Lord of the Rings. I fought back and forth with the number 1 and this one at number 2. Probably the number 1 because of my age a little bit, and I'm going to show my age. But Lord of the Rings trilogy, Peter Jackson did a great job. There's fans of it. There's fans that are, there's no fans of it. And, I love this. There's a lot of things taken out of it, but there's a lot of things added in. And especially if you're going to watch this, watch the director's cuts, the 4-hour cuts. If you've got 12 hours, to watch or binge a season of TV, you got 12 hours to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy in one day, and not too far behind it, and is my number 1, which we're getting ready to talk about. But I thought I thought they were all faithful to Tolkien's vision of what Middle Earth was. I thought everybody, from Gandalf to Aragorn to Frodo to even the guy who played Bilbo, fantastic. Everybody fit right. And of course, one of the greatest scenes in all of cinema is biting into the cherry tomato. That's got to be one of the best scenes of all time, is biting into a cherry tomato while Mary is singing. And my number one all-time trilogy is the original Star Wars trilogy. Say what you want. If it wasn't for these, we wouldn't have the trilogies or the Star Wars that we have now. As Many people are upset. Many people are throwing fits about Star Wars today. But listen, if it wasn't for New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, we don't have some of the sci-fi series that we have today. We don't have Firefly. We don't have some of the great science fiction movies. You know, it is what it is. George Lucas brought science fiction to mainstream. Sure, we had sci-fi before, but nobody took it seriously. They weren't in the big. They never made it hardly to the big theaters. You only could catch them on late night TV or things like that, or serials. There was never any science fiction until Star Wars hit the big screen. So you wouldn't have Anakin. We wouldn't have gotten the story. Blaze, one of my honorable mentions is the prequel trilogy, your 1999 through 2005 Star Wars. It didn't make the top 10, but it was in the in my honorable mentions. But we'll be talking about that a little bit or later. But other than that, Star Wars is there. You laugh at me. You're laughing. But Godfather does not make it. Does not make the top. It doesn't even if it was just the duology. If it was Godfather and Godfather Part 2, I would totally agree that the best duology of movies is the Godfather. But the Godfather 3 ruins it. It takes Godfather 3 just, to me, this is a Dash opinion. If you caught my disclaimer at the beginning of the show, it says some feelings might get hurt. Godfather 3 is a horrible movie. It doesn't, while it still fits the show, it was just a horrible ending to The Godfather, in my opinion. And I only watch The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2 when I'm watching movies. When I skip Godfather 3, as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't even belong in canon, doesn't even belong with the movie trilogy at all. So that's why it didn't make my trilogy list. Finally, this is the worst. If I had to do the worst trilogies, yeah, I had the original Star Wars, number 1. But if I have the worst trilogy of all time, and Dash, why is this the worst? Well, they copied. This is Darth plagiarism at its best. Jar Jar Abrams, Rian Johnson, and the Darth plagiarism. I mean, they copied everything. They didn't become original. There was nothing original about these stories. Nothing. It was just a rehash of the original trilogy. But Dash, it's so, no. You don't have Jedi Master Mary Sue. You don't have Kylo Goth Ren. Keanu Reeves. Wannabe. Wish Keanu Reeves. If you would have just done, this is my opinion. Had you just done Poe and John Boyega's character, Finn, had you just done Finn and Poe as a buddy story, traveling throughout the galaxy to try and look for Luke, that would have been a great trilogy. I don't need Jedi Master Mary Sue killing off, Han. The only reason Han Solo even did The Force Awakens is so he could kill his character off. Come on, you only like Kylo Ren? Dude. I understand that, but I find Wish.com Keanu just horrible. I mean, it was just horrible acting. And this was made for shippers, people who like to put two people together and ship them and put them in a romantic relationship. That's all this was made about. You can't tell me that Luke Skywalker, who saw good in everybody and saw good in his father, all of a sudden decided he was going to kill his nephew. That is so against character. I'm sorry. And you know, Mark Hamill, I love you, buddy. And but I just felt that was against your character. I could be wrong, but I just don't feel like Luke, who saw good in his father, was trying to do the right thing, would turn around and try to kill his nephew. He would have tried to turn his nephew to the good side. He would have, and he was probably the most powerful Jedi at that time. Don't tell me he would have failed. I'm sorry. And then somehow Palpatine returns, and you got Jedi Master Palpatine. She's not Skywalker, who knows every move, every Force ability, every Force trick in the book, knows how to fly the Millennium Falcon, knows how to pilot everything. Give me a break. That was the most worst trilogy of all time. I don't want to turn this into a Star Wars bashing. But that's it. That's my trilogies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope some of yours made the list. If you didn't catch the beginning, go back and watch the replay. I will upload this to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, Dash Hooper, go to I put some links on my Facebook page, or you can go to YouTube, go to Dash Hooper and subscribe. Not the dash of life, just Dash Hooper. And subscribe to that. Help me build that channel up. We're doing all pulp culture on that. It's all and I got some of my stuff going with my author and becoming a writer, and my my vlog is on there, my diary, if you will, my author's diary. And we're going to have some couple posts for that this week, as well as this will be going up here in a little bit. So if you didn't catch it, go catch it, the replay on YouTube later tonight. And I appreciate everybody coming out. Tomorrow we'll be back for Midday Dash. We're doing some other talks this week. We've got NFL Chalk Talk Thursday night, 5:30. We're going to be, like I said, breaking down the divisions and who we think will win the Super Bowl, as well as a little contest to see which starting quarterback is what fast food restaurant. So tune in for that Thursday night. Other than that, we will see you hopefully tomorrow on YouTube. You froze on YouTube? Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Dash Hooper, or you can go to my Facebook page. I put a link there that you can follow and click on it. But I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Let me know if some of your favorites made the trilogy list. And if not, we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys, for coming out, and appreciate you.